Almost got swooped by magpies then. Right above my head. Anyway, distraction already. Good morning, everybody. Welcome back. So today I'm walking to work. It's a Saturday, and I just thought I'd talk to you guys a bit about the whole visa and what visa we're on, and maybe it could help you guys if you're looking at doing the same sort of thing. So me and the missus had a look, and basically we followed a friend that was doing a DAMA visa, which stands for look at them. I've seen those birds before. I am so easily distracted. Look at them. Little green birds. You probably barely see them, camouflaged into the grass. Very cool. Anyway, I should start taking up bird watching. So yeah, the visa we're on is a DAMA visa, which is, I can never bloody remember the name of the actual visa. Basically, it stands for a skill shortage in regional areas. I did a video on it before, but yeah, I just wanted to talk a bit more about it. Just want to clarify to everybody that the visa we're on is through my missus, who's a teacher, and not through myself. Now, we did look at doing it through myself as a trucker, but it was a lot harder. There was a lot more loopholes to jump through as a trucker than if we was to do it as a teacher. So much to the annoyance of the missus, we did it on her visa. She kindly took the lead and basically got us here. Yeah, that's pretty much the be all and end all of it, really. It was quite an easy process in terms of doing it as a teacher. She sort of went into like a pool, if you like. Oh god, I got a hole in my shoe or something. Wet sock already. Sort of went into a pool of teachers, and they picked out people from the pool. Now, there were ways that you could speed up the process. You could go online and find regional areas and apply for the places where you desire, over just rather than just being put wherever they want to put you. Because at first they tried putting us in a place called Port Hedland. If anyone knows anything about Port Hedland, as beautiful as a place it is, it's very remote. It's a 17-hour drive from Perth, and that's the closest city. So it wasn't the most desirable place, although you could earn really good money up there because it's a mining town. It was all relevant because when we were looking at the price of rent in Port Hedland, we're looking like $700 to $1,000 a week, not a month, a week. And that was just for a very modest 3-bedroom house up there. So it was definitely not on our top priority of places to go. With that said, we would have done it if that meant us getting here. We just happened to get lucky, and we had a friend here in Manjimup, and he basically was here for a year and was telling us about the community, and tell us all about it. It's so noisy this morning, these birds. Probably because there's no people around this morning. So he was telling us about the community and that. So we moved here a year after him, and actually loving it right now. It's a bit rainy this morning, a bit wet, but it's winter, so you've got to take the rough with the smooth, and it's not like the British winters where it is just relentless and never ending, it seems. So you can easily go and have a look to see if your skills are on the DAMA list. So it's called a 482 visa. You can apply up to the age of 45, It's basically finding your skills in a regional area, so quite remote sort of farming communities, usually a bit like the one I'm in. This is Manjimup, so it's not like, it's rural, don't get me wrong, but it's classed as a super town. So you're not sort of like isolated from the entire world. It's an hour and 45-minute drive to the coast, to like the big towns, Bunbury and Bustleton. So yeah, it's not like you have to go in the absolute middle of nowhere, but it does give you that sort of sense of, yeah, being regional here. If I had to pick one, random, do I have legs? Yeah, I do have legs. If I had to pick one, mate, I would go with a McLaren, only because I went out on a track day on one and it was amazing. But yeah, distracted from the visa thing. I'm not talking about favourite Pokemon. The comments always get me on here. I love the interaction, guys, but come on, keep it to the topic. So yeah, we lodged our application. Probably took us about 5 weeks from start to finish. It was actually really quick. We was not expecting for it to go as quick and as smooth really as it did. We were quite lucky in that sense. The only thing I will say is just make sure you're prepared, because one of the things we found is we probably should have sold our property before we left. It was technically sold, but it wasn't until we got out here in September, like early September, and then late September the house fell through and we had to sell it all again, and it's just started to absolutely piss down. So I'm probably going to get very wet now. Yay. Yeah, so just make sure you tie up all your loose ends in the UK or wherever you are moving from before you do decide to move out, because it can get very stressful when you're trying to sort out your finances and yeah, anything that you might have, assets. Yeah, I work Saturday, only half day today. It's like not double, time and a half, so I think, so yeah, gets me out of the house in the morning, everyone's asleep, pays a few bills. Yeah, I can't complain. But yeah, we're going back to the visa again. So yeah, obviously, like I said, we were in a pool and they were giving us certain locations like Port Hedland and places that most people don't really want to go, if you're honest, because they're very, very remote. Like I was saying earlier, 17-hour drive from your nearest city, Perth. So my missus went on and looked around in the areas that we were looking at, which was Southwest Australia, and was just proactive and applied for jobs in those areas that she actually wanted, and then was like basically asking them if they did the sponsorship, and got really lucky that we happened to get sponsored here, right where my friend lives. I know, it's almost like it was meant to be. Hello, good morning everybody, thank you for joining us. So if you are joining us, basically I'm talking about how our visa worked and how we got here. I'm just walking to work at the moment. Been in Australia for just over 8 months now. Yes, a lengthy process, but it is definitely worth doing. My kids seem to be really enjoying life here. They're doing really well at school already, making loads of new friends. So yeah, it's definitely working out to be better than I expected. Like I said, there are things that make it very hard and stressful, but like anything in life, anything that's worth doing is never easy. So, any comments? Message retracted. Why did he retract his supercar message? Fair enough. Right, so is there any questions that anybody's got about anything about the visa? If there is, then yeah, just fire away. That's what this is all about. If there's anything you want to know, yeah, I'll try and help you the best I can. I'm not gonna sit here and pretend that I'm a total expert on it, because my missus done most of the legwork. She's a smart one, obviously. She's a teacher. But yeah. Oh, there we go. I believe how beautiful it is, even in the winter here when it's raining. It still amazes me how nice it is here. I'm struggling to breathe, guys, because I'm sort of getting over a bad cold, and I'm walking and talking, so yeah, it's one of those things. Good morning, everybody. Thanks for joining us. Yeah, so basically a DAMA visa is what we're on. 482 visa. Go check it out. There's a website. What I'll do is, when I get a minute, I'll put a link in the description where you can check out your skills to see if it's something that you can qualify for. And like I say, you've got up to the age of 45 to apply for this, and after 2 years of doing the DAMA, you can then apply for PR, which is permanent residency, and yeah, stay. So it's definitely worthwhile. Don't get me wrong. There's different avenues. There's so many visas to go for. This just seemed to be one of the easier ways of doing it for us. Like my sister, she's currently looking into coming over here herself. Her partner's a police officer. Their visa, I believe, gives them PR pretty much straight away, which is pretty cool. But I kind of like the idea of the way our visa works. So it's a 4-year working visa, and then after 2 years you can sort of decide, oh, yeah, this is for me, or nah, not for me. What entitlement you get? Medicare, okay, subsidies, right? So that's a good question, very good question. So Medicare, you have reciprocal medical care. So basically, if an Australian goes to the UK, they can use the NHS. If we go to Australia, we can use their Medicare. Yeah, like it's just an agreement that they have between the two countries. It is recommended that you do get private healthcare, which sounds like private healthcare, that's a lot of money. It's not that expensive. It's not like paying for a private healthcare in the UK. You just get more for your money if you do private healthcare. Basically, it's like the NHS Medicare. You don't have to pay for most things, but there will be things at the end of the tax year, if you're earning over a certain threshold, that you might have to pay for. I'm not an expert on it, so I'm not going to pretend that I know everything about it, but it's just what I've sort of read. I could be wrong, so don't hold me to that. In terms of childcare, so childcare is one of the things that is a bit annoying. So we're not entitled to any childcare or anything like that, which, fair enough, you know what I mean? We're immigrants at the end of the day. Why should we be entitled to taxpayers' money when we haven't put in to the system yet? So I think, it's fair. It's annoying, but fair. Which is why I'm only doing part-time at the moment, working at a hardware store, because if anyone knows me, I've watched my channel before, you would know that I am a truck driver by trade. But yeah, I'm a truck driver, and that's what I would be doing full time if I didn't have to look after the kids. So the school system over here is a bit different to the UK. They don't go to school full time until they're 5 years old. So my girls are 4, and they would have been full time in September last year in the UK. Here, this year, they're doing 3 days 1 week and 2 days the next week. So that means 5 days a fortnight I'm daddy daycare, which is nice, don't get me wrong. I love spending time with the girls, and yeah, time I'm probably never going to get with them ever again, so I do try and make the most of it. But yeah, when you're used to being the one that brings in the money, I say the one, we both worked full-time back in the UK, but yeah, when you're used to doing full-time hours, it's hard to adjust to, especially when you've got to go from what's the word, I don't know, kind of like you've got to go from your dad sort of brain to more of a maternal mum kind of brain when you're with them all the time. It used to be, good cop, bad cop with me and the missus. She'd be the one that would, be there giving them the cuddles and nicey, and daddy would be the one that would tell them. But yeah, so you've got to kind of switch that up a bit when obviously you're off with them all the time. Just walking past someone, so I'm just going to be quiet for a moment. Anyway, yeah, so there we go. Childcare, nothing. Medicare, something. So there's your answer pretty much for that. I have actually had an operation here already. Had the kidney stones removed. I know, 34 years old, and I had kidney stones, and that is part of the joys of being a truck driver and having such a bad healthy lifestyle back in the UK when I was truck driving. But that's all sorted. Well, I say it's all sorted, mostly sorted now. And you have to pay to go to the doctors here. So if you want to go see a doctor, it costs you like $90, which is equivalent to like £45. You will get half of that back. I don't know why they do that. So yeah, you pay $90, and then the next day they refund you half of it. But it's good because you'll never struggle to get a doctor's appointment out here, because in the UK it's quite common for people just to go to the doctors for the most minor, trivial little thing, whether it's a cold or whatever it may be. And if you lived in the southeast, especially where I lived in the UK, then getting a doctor's appointment was virtually impossible. So yeah, don't mind really paying that money to see a doctor if I know that I can pretty much get a doctor on the same day if I need it. But once I'd been and seen the doctor and I got put through to hospital, I went through the public, and yeah, operation and all that, and the service that I got here was amazing. Super chilled, super professional, can't fault them. What else? Right, back to the visa part. That's probably more important. So anyone else got any more questions? Just fire away if you've got any more questions. Helps me out to sort of jog my memory. Working rights. So obviously I'm on the Mrs. visa. If you didn't truck drive, could be a tradie. Seems to be big bucks there. Seems like training. Yeah, so tradies are very sought after in WA, and they do earn really good over here. And that's because anybody that's usually got a trade usually ends up going and working in the mines and earning fabulous money in the mines. So that leaves a bit of a void for tradies. So if you want work done around your house here in the area that I'm in, you've got a long wait, trust me. You need to book them well in advance, because they're just flat out, and they charge what they want because they know people have got no other choice. So yeah, if you're an electrician, plumber, plasterer, probably not plasterer, I don't really know if that's a thing here, painter and decorator, whatever, anything like that, then yeah, you can earn good money here. Made me lose what I was talking about before. What was I talking about before? Yeah, that's another thing as well. Oh, working rights. Hey mate, working rights. So I have the same working rights as my partner. Basically I'm on her visa, so it's kind of like mirrored from hers to mine because we're married. Yeah, I can pretty much do any job, obviously any job that I'm qualified for. Another thing about the trucking as well is, yeah, it costs to redo your license here. So although I have my class 1 in the UK driving semis, here it's not noticed, so my license only rolls over to a car license. One second. Morning. Yeah, so it only rolls over to a car license, which is pretty annoying, but it is what it is. But because I have the experience of driving trucks in the UK, I can go straight for my MC, which is multi-combination. So like the road trains, you go straight in from that, from a car license, if you have the experience of driving a truck in the UK. So yeah, that's good to know. It costs about $3,000 to get your MC license. So when I get a chance, come January, I will be looking at one of two options. I will either be going to the mines to do some driving, maybe in the mines, I don't know, or I will just go get my license and do local work. Endless possibilities really of what I could do now. I didn't have that freedom back in the UK. Now the missus is earning a decent wage. I have the freedom now to decide what I actually want to do, and whether that be trucking or whatever, it's nice to know that I've got that option, rather than just being stuck with trucking like I was in the UK. I didn't have the option to retrain in the UK because my wage was the wage that we couldn't afford to lose. I'll keep giving. So yeah, that's definitely one thing that's a massive positive. Well, I feel like I've been talking for ages. Don't forget to smash the like, guys, if this is helpful. Push the video out to a few more people. And yeah, thanks for joining me. Where's everybody from? What's everybody doing? Probably got about another 5 minutes, and I'll probably be ending this live stream because I will be at work. But yeah, always looking to help people with any questions that they may have. So don't be afraid to ask in the comments. Yeah, who wants to have a little look around? Let's quickly turn the camera around. Here we go. Look at that. It's raining, but still beautiful. It's just the buildings. This is my walk to work every day, and I love it in the summer. Don't get me wrong, it's like 25 degrees in the morning sometimes in the summer, but have you got access to TAFE where you live? What's TAFE? I can't remember. I've heard of it before, but I can't remember what it means. TAFE. Yeah, you'll have to. I don't say Indian Ocean, I say Ocean of Australia. Fair enough. Do you know maybe in New Zealand license transfers or for MC Needs to be tested or something. I don't know, because I don't. Do you have MCs over in New Zealand? I'd imagine it'd probably be the same. I don't know actually, because New Zealand and Australia are pretty close ties, so yeah, it's not something I'm technical and further education. Yes, they do have that. So does that mean like school you can just go and learn a trade rather than learning pointless shit that you don't care about? If so, then yes, they do have that here, which I think is brilliant, because back in the UK, if I had that option, I definitely would have took it. There's no way that I would have done boring English and science and stuff like that when I could have done, I don't know, mechanics or whatever. Learned a trade would have been definitely, yeah. So yeah, they definitely do that over here. They do, especially where I am, they do an agricultural one as well, because it's a big farming community around this area. So yeah, it's definitely. Let's turn the camera around again. Across the road, I have all classes here. Biggest one is class 5. You can drive a B double. How they say here, B trade. Yes, yeah, I think you'd probably be all right. I don't know. It's something you'd have to look into a bit more. Yeah, not familiar with the rules. I think just for their own benefit, they like to have you do your test, like probably a bit like the UK one, where you probably just go straight in for your MC, just to make sure that you are competent and that you're not going to jump in and run over a load of people. Yeah, I think you'll be all right. Right guys, I am at work. Thank you for watching. Yeah, if you want any more sort of content like this, then head over to my channel, Truck It Prowl, and yeah, you can find lots of informative videos there, and I shall see you on the next one. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe.